Hope everyone is doing well under this such profoundly powerful week that we are moving through. I I want to break down a few very important points that we are moving through now. And it's the new moon, Gemini new moon is coming up early next week. Saturn is about to ingress into Aries. Big energy is present. The Saturn has been at the very end degrees of um, Pisces, right? This is a very significant point because not only because of the fact that Saturn is about to ingress into Aries to go through this 29 years of massive reset point. That very last degree minute point of Pisces is an ending point, right? So 29 degrees of Pisces, I spoke about this in last video, I believe, is the portal of symbolic death, endings, and the dissolving of separations and illusions, and dissolving of old karma, right? Old lessons, old traumas, old narratives, old storyline, everything is, this is an opportunity for us to release those old pieces of us that we've held on to for the past 29 years. So this Saturn is holding a strong mission. Saturn is the planet of karma. Saturn is the planet of time. Saturn is the planet that can give us hard lessons and challenges so that we can grow, so we can master certain aspects of ourselves. So this week, the past week, all the energies driven by that last Scorpio new moon that happened on the 12th of May, that full moon, and in everything that's been happening since then, all the triggers, all the emotional stuff, all the repetition of certain narratives and storylines that we get trapped, we get triggered. All the things are happening under the guidance of Saturn to me. It feels like it's the Saturn's guidance, right? Saturn is showing us where we haven't healed. Saturn is showing us where we have to bring our awareness to. Saturn is bringing all, like, stirring up all those deep emotions and feelings and memories and traumas so that we can clear, so that we can part, so that we can release those energetics, and so that we can stepping into that new chapter with that brand new sense of self. That's what this Saturn is doing. And this work continues until late tomorrow evening in an Eastern time zone. But this Saturn has been doing a lot. And not only this Saturn moving, yes, Saturn will return back to Pisces in September until February of next year, until early next year. Saturn will dip back into Pisces. Neptune will dip back into Pisces. But this is the first time that all the outer planets, major planets, will leave Pisces into new signs, right? Saturn is the only planet that is in the house of Pisces right now. North Node is there, of course, but the North nodal points are mathematical point. And it's not a planet, or it's not a physical entity, right? So Saturn, when Saturn leaves Pisces, all those major planets are moving into a new energy. Yes, Pluto is there, and in Pluto, after 20 years, Pluto will dip it into Pisces in 2044, something like that, right? But at this point, this Saturn leaving Pisces is a huge deal because Saturn has steered our world the past 5 years, right? Saturn Pluto conjunction happened at 22 degrees of Capricorn on January 12th of 2020. And at that point, that was the beginning point of the world shutdown. And then all the strong, heavy energies of Capricorn, right? Jupiter, Saturn, great conjunction happened at 0 degrees of Aquarius, right? All those major uh major conjunction after going through major conjunction with Saturn and Pluto only meets once in 35 years or so, right? That happened in 2020. And Saturn and Jupiter met together at 0 degrees of Aquarius at the winter solstice of 2020. And that only happens once in 20 years cycle. And now Saturn has been speaking with Jupiter in square starting last year, and next month in June, Saturn and Jupiter will have a final square of this cycle in June in the new energy, because by that time Jupiter will be ingressing Jupiter will be ingressing into Cancer. Jupiter will dip into Cancer on June 9th, and Saturn will dip into Aries, of course, tomorrow night, 24th or 25th, and that Jupiter Saturn square will happen on June 15th next month. But those are major things, right? After going through those major conjunction and making all those alignments, Saturn is about to leave Pisces. So no, this is a pivotal turning point. This is a pivotal quantum shifting, timeline shifting. This is a major upgrade moment. So whatever that has stirred up our mind, our heart, our life, the past few weeks, especially last week, has been quite turmoil of energy. But know that those energies are here. It's the force. It's a vital force that we want to use to shed. I'm done with this energy. I'm done with this story. This is old energy, right? This feels old and outdated. So I am choosing to purge, release. Phew, big pivotal initial moment. Yes. So that Saturn point is very important, and Saturn will ingress into Aries around 11:36 p.m. on Saturday evening on 24th. So it can be happening on Sunday in many different parts of the world. But let's go into today, Friday, May 23rd. Around 5 p.m. Eastern time zone, not Jupiter, Moon now in Aries is gonna meet up with Venus. This Venus is finally out of shadow, right? Venus, Mercury retrograded in Pisces, and there was a whole lot of conjunction with Saturn and Venus too last month. Right, since March, April, Venus has been excuse me, wandering around Pisces, but now out of shadow state, and Venus and Moon meeting up. This is giving us another next level boldness, courageousness, because Venus has been speaking with Mars in trine. Venus usually moves much faster than Mars, but because of the fact that Venus is still gaining her momentum, right? She went through the 40 days, 40 nights retrograde journey starting in March on March 1st and until right April, mid-April, Venus was in retrograde. And now Venus is gaining her momentum and returning back to her normal speed. But still, it's a little slower than normal speed. So Venus and Mars has been in trine with one another for some time, for weeks. And yesterday, Venus and Mars came to the exact trine point at 16 degrees of Leo, but they're still together talking to each other. Venus and Mars alignment brings a lot of this creativity, new fire because of the fact that they are both in fire signs and they are bringing up new inspiration, new ambition, new spark of fire, new direction, new intention, right? All those things are the energy that we want to bring our energy focused on. Because another thing, those two entities, those two archetypes and energy, divine feminine, divine masculine, those are personal planets, our will, our emotions. We want to align our heart with that fire, and then we want to keep pushing ourselves forward, right? No time to be looking back. Right? Saturn is sorting out our past, but we don't want to stay stuck there. This is momentum to move on forward. That's what that energy is about right now, right? Jupiter out of shadow has been squaring that nodal point to North Node and South Node. Jupiter has been squaring the nodal point. This is a pivotal turning point. Right. It's almost like we are standing in a crossroad, the past, the future, reflecting back and right, dreaming of the future. And then we want to choose that future point, right? We want to choose to align our frequency vibration with the frequency vibration of the future, of the positivity, optimism, all of that. Jupiter is about to go into Cancer, and then Jupiter is finally leaving his leaving its detriment. Jupiter doesn't perform so well in Gemini because Jupiter thrives in Sagittarius. Jupiter is opposing sign from his home sign. So it's, Jupiter wants to see the bigger vision. Jupiter is more about the philosophy of life, wider horizon, bigger pictures. But when Jupiter is in Gemini, too much details, too much scatteredness, too much information, and we get just so confused. We get just, our mind can get just so out of focus because of just the overwhelm within the mind. But we're ready to start seeing more bigger vision. And when Jupiter moves into Cancer, it brings more spiritual energy, healing energy. So we want to really tap it into that, right? We're moving toward that. June is going to be a huge month. Yes, we're all preparing for this big, big, powerful month coming ahead. Now, with that, yeah, all those big pictures, Sun at 2 degrees of Gemini. Later on today, this Sun will align with Pluto. The Sun met up with Neptune, right, in sextile for the first time in our lifetime yesterday, because Neptune, right, last time Neptune was in Aries was 1886 or something like that, 1800s for sure. And Sun meeting with in sextile, it hasn't happened for quite some time. So this was a big deal. And now Sun is approaching to trine Pluto. And I'm saying like that Sun Neptune energy is over. It's not over, right? We are under that energy. Exact point of alignment happened yesterday. But this Sun sextile Neptune, new innovation, new innovative visions, a new chapter opening, right? New information coming in, new will, new intention, new start, brand new moment is here, right? That theme is gonna stay with us for some time because Saturn is moving into Aries. But Sun aligning with Pluto, this is a leveling up. This is about, again, Pluto energy is symbolic death, transformation, metamorphosis. It's a dynamic energy of power. It's the will, it's the magnetism, it's charisma. We want to really know our power, step into our power, and hold the will. We are here to make impossible possible. No more being kind of pulled back by the limitations of our logical, analytical, realistic mind. We are bigger than that. We are bigger than who we thought we were. We are bigger than what we were told who we were, right? Whatever. The concepts of human is changing, really, with this Saturn, Neptune moving into that 0 degrees of Aries point and then coming to exact conjunction next year. This is all about the new identity of humanity. It's all about just something. I feel like we are wakening up to our true potential. We're wakening up to our true magic power. We are wakening up to our alchemical energy. We are ready to start using it, to start making making mm, like making what we thought impossible possible. Yes, period, right? That can manifest in so many different ways. But it's a big reset point coming up. And that Sun Pluto archetype that we are under is like go, go sign. This is a level up moment. This is the, yes, it's like um, we don't want to hold any excuse, right? Whatever the reason that our mind says, like, oh, it's impossible. Oh, because of this, I cannot do this. Or because of this is happening, I cannot this. All of them are excuse, period. And then we do not want to let that all the excuses to hold us back. This is the time to dream a new dream, to see the new vision. Now, under this energy point, let's, I'm gonna clear that. And I want to mention that under, oops, under this, we are also, there is an active movement of Mercury happening. Mercury is coming to conjunct Uranus. Mercury Uranus conjunction is happening tomorrow. Sorry, hold on. It's coming under this energy of Sun Pluto archetype. Sun Pluto trine is happening. Exactly, it's happening tomorrow, but we're feeling it today. And then under that energy of Sun trine Pluto, Mercury is coming to conjunct Uranus. This is like a new level, revelational, new information coming in. It's a light bulb twinkling, lightening up, right? Sun Pluto archetype is that too. It's like a aha moment. It's the revelation. It's the new idea because it's all happening, right? Sun Pluto is in an air sign, new quick innovation, new ideas, new kind of perception can be coming in. And the sun is in Gemini, so the ruling planet under that Gemini season is Mercury. And Mercury is coming to conjunct Uranus. And that is the point at 27 degrees of Taurus, is the point the sun met up with Uranus. Sun-Uranus conjunction happened last week around that 17th of May. So this is like Mercury coming together to again going over that 27 degrees of Uranus point to give us another level of awakening, right? The themes of liberation, themes of awakening, themes of breakthroughs profoundly present with this Sun Pluto trine, with the fact that that energy is the energy that under this energy, well, let's go into right under this energy, right, 24th tomorrow, Sun and Mercury and in the Uranus will be meeting up, and that Sun at 3 degrees of Gemini will be in sextile with Pluto at 3 degrees. And then later that night, but I'm gonna just go into the chart of 25th. On the 25th today, Saturn is in Aries, right? Saturn in Aries at 0 degrees. That's gonna be happening around 11:36 p.m. on May 24th in the Eastern time zone. Saturn is ingressing into Aries. One of a very important energy key player of Saturn ingressing into Aries to me is this energy of Ceres. Ceres met up with Saturn in Aries, in Pisces, very late degrees of Pisces, Saturn, Ceres conjunction. Ceres is the mother, divine mother archetype. She is the asteroid of nourishment, nurturing, just like the Mother Earth, giving, life giving, love giving energy. Saturn met up with Ceres, and then as Saturn ingresses into Aries, Ceres is there with Neptune, right? Ceres is not going to be there when Saturn ingresses back and then crosses over that 0 degrees Aries point in early September. No, right? This is the first point of that. It's not an exact conjunction, but Saturn, Neptune, Ceres is triple conjunction in early degrees of Aries. Ceres played a key role when Saturn Pluto conjunction happened in 2020. That time in 2020, in January, there was Saturn Pluto conjunction. There was lunar eclipse happening, Mercury cazimi happening, Jupiter was there in Capricorn. There was a tremendous clusters of energy happening in that Capricorn sector. And then with that Saturn representing society and norms and rules and regulation, Pluto, the planet of destruction, right? Planet of death and endings with Ceres. Ceres was there. Whole conjunction shut down the whole world. And in the structures of society really shifted. Right? A lot of people stopped going into the office 9 to 5. A lot of people started quitting jobs and changing directions at that time. Now, with this Saturn moving into Neptune, with the Ceres being there, I am hoping this is a very powerful, another level structural shift, moving out of patriarchal system of power, drive for money, war, right? All those top leaders are men who are buying all those weapons and right trying to go into war, and then all that world order is practiced and committed. I don't know what's the word, right? It's the man, very powerful energy of that masculine is the force that's driving and ruling this world. But it might not happen right away. But with this energy, Saturn Neptune come together only once in 36 years. Last time that happened was in 1989. In 1989, Saturn Neptune conjunction happened in Capricorn. That was the time of the fall of the Berlin Wall. By that, with that, the Russia, Soviet Union, a lot of like borders and structures of the world shifted, right? Capricorn is the political things and the border lines and all those things can be associated with Capricorn. But in Aries, right? In our history of humanity, Saturn and Neptune meeting up at that 0 degrees of Aries point never happened really, ever. I think in 1700s, maybe they met together in Aries, but not at Aries 0 degrees point. 0 degrees conjunction is gonna happen in early next year in February of 2026. But still, this is a pivotal point. Aries, right? It's the beginning point. It's the rebirthing point. It's the turning point. I want the world to shift this, return back to nature, return back to the rhythms of nature, more receptivity, more living in sync with the magic of nature, magic of us, not be driven by power, not be driven by right? The capitalism and I don't know, whatever that is being projected in the media or this and that, more money, more fame, more, I don't know, like whatever that we were told was the dream point. I don't know. It doesn't feel very well aligned to the the real reason why we are here. And I feel like more people are wakening up to that to that reason, or to be the seekers of that reason, to be the seekers of who we are. Who are we on an essential spiritual level? What is this whole world is about? What are we here to do? I feel like that kind of spiritual expansion can be happening with this Neptune Saturn coming together in Aries, identity shifting, and that more of us are coming to wake up to be that seeker of that higher truth, seeker of that true freedom, true liberation. Something is happening now, big time. And now, after under this energy, right, after Saturn ingresses into Aries, Mercury will ingress into Aries on that later tomorrow, later 25th. And then after it it goes into Pisces, it's gonna trine Saturn to Mercury. Saturn sextile will happen as well. But this under this energy, new moon will happen. This is huge. This is a huge new moon point, right? Huge energy shift is happening. Dynamic new energy is happening. Saturn ingressing into 0 degrees Aries is like final point of reset point of the last 29 years. Saturn has been in Pisces since 2023 or so. And now ingressing into Pisces, and Saturn, Aries, and Saturn will stay in Aries till 2028. 2020, yes, 2028. It's gonna ingress back into Aries and Taurus and all those kind of things. But this is the Next 3-year cycle starting. Big point, big energy shift. And then this is the time that we want to hold a new initiation, right? New intention. Intention is everything. Intention is the God's power, right? So hold an intention, new intention as a new, brand new self. I'm going to create another video about just the Gemini new moon chart. But even under the dark moon phase, this moon is gonna cross over Mercury, and then that new moon is gonna happen at 6 degrees of Gemini. And then after that, Sun Mercury conjunction will happen on the 30th. Big time, big energy moving. And then this is the energy we want to use to find ourselves, see ourselves anew. If we start seeing ourselves anew, like with a new identity, with the new perception and perspectives of who we are, we can start to see everything that's happening in life from a different lens in a way, right? Rather than being stuck with certain difficulties in life, certain difficulty in life becomes a great opportunity, right? To grow and to expand. Certain density that kept holding us back can start to shift. I always say that, right? It can start to shift its density when we start to change, when we start seeing a bigger vision, greater vision. I have a higher purpose, right? Our life can be hard, maybe because we have a higher intention. Our soul may hold bigger, greater, higher intention. And that density is there for that massive transformation. Because in order to make our life as an epic life story, we gotta have that deepest depth of depression and all the trauma, right? That's the good part of life. Without that, the story of life is boring. And we don't want boring, boring life. No, like find that difficulty as an excitement. Start seeing that from that like exciting point of view, and let that be our drive, right? Enthusiasm and know like, okay, how am I going to turn this from here? Where am I going to go? How am I going to start writing a new script, new storyline, right? This Gemini season is all about writing a new story about ourselves, our lives, our future, all of it. This is a beautiful time to journal. This is a beautiful time to kind of like, right, speak to our Mercury. Mercury is writing, Mercury is speaking, Mercury is singing, Mercury is chanting. Like commit to some kind of a chanting practice, mantra practice, commit to spiritual practice. This is a powerful time as a Saturn in moving through that late last degrees of Pisces. Saturn is challenging us. Saturn is challenging us to see if we are disciplined enough to commit to our spiritual practice. If Saturn is testing us to see if we are being, if we're going to continue to be a victim of life, or we are going to continue to keep seeing ourselves as God, as the higher creator of our own reality, and keep committing to that higher vision of ourselves, and keep pushing ourselves, pushing the barriers, pushing the limitation, and keep pushing to go beyond. Saturn is gonna give us a word if we are committed to that higher vision, and then don't give up. This is the leveling up moment. And in this, as long as we hold that will to keep getting into that next level self, next level life, this is a powerful time that we want to keep committing to that greater, bigger vision of self, of life, of that future vision of the earth too. It's not only about ourselves, it's we are creating the new vision for the earth, for the new earth, new vision for humanity, new vision for this collective consciousness. We want to keep holding that vision and keep seeing that vision, right? That kind of practice has been my intention in even in my yogic teaching, the class that I offer. If you come take my class, you know I don't teach just yoga asana. It's just tiny aspects of what I intend to do in my classes, right? This is a spiritual practice. This is a spiritual healing practice. This is a spiritual awakening practice that we are doing here together. I'm not just talking about yoga. Everything that you do, may we hold and may we do everything as an act of God. See everything as sacred ritual. See everything, live life through that lens. Yes, sometimes the human drama uh, can, make us stuck in that deep emotions and feelings and thoughts and all that, but snap out of it again and again, come up quick. No, oh, I forgot who I was. I got trapped in my crazy mind. Oh, this crazy trauma stories and narratives, okay? Reset, 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 return back to what's most essential and important to us. And may we commit again and again and again and again to that bigger, broader visions of spirit. Spiritual visions are always bird's eye perspective, and we cannot forget that vision again and again. Move away from that density and the drama of this 3D earthly realm, and then keep breathing and keep connecting to that bigger spirit perspective, which is the perspectives of eternity and infinity, because we always belong to that realm. Always, we're inseparable vibrationally, energetically, spiritually, one with the source, one with the infinity, one with the wholeness of the oneness, right? Anyway, thank you so much for listening and tuning in. Wishing you a beautiful, powerful ingress into that Saturn, into Aries. May we keep holding up bigger vision of the ease and peace and oneness of all. Yes, thank you so much. Peace.